Atrocitus feels like the parody of a superhero that should show up in a show like Metalocalypse, but he's real. Like, he's actually in the DC universe as one of Green Lantern's main villains, and he has a pretty important role as being the leader of the Red Lanterns. And yet, he still feels like something that Nathan Explosion should have punched at this point. You go, Atrocitus. From McFarlane's DC Multiverse, specifically the Blackest Night wave, this is the Atrocitus Build-A-Figure, a mega-fig who is ginormous and tall, and also I always have him in a JoJo pose with his crotch going forward because that's the best way to make him balance, but, you know, Atrocitus seems like the kind of guy who walks like that, to be fair. There he is, in an actual JoJo pose. I'm actually somewhat impressed that he's able to hold that. He is a very top-heavy figure. If you're unfamiliar with Atrocitus or the Red Lantern Corps, basically in the DC universe, there was an idea that started about, 20-ish years ago that there were more than just green and yellow lanterns. Basically, the lanterns were the emotional spectrum, and each major emotion had a color. The Red Lanterns are, of course, anger and hatred. They are given to those who know what true, utter contempt for something or someone or some group else is. So, not a lot of good guys, but a lot of them typically have kind of tragic backstories. Like, for instance, one of my favorite Red Lanterns is Dexstar, who was just a cat whose owner got murdered in front of them, and then they got kicked out of their house, and then a bunch of teenagers drowned them, which is why they became a Red Lantern, because they gained a hatred for everyone who wasn't their owner. Atrocitus, I don't know that much about, admittedly. The only thing I know about him, right, aside from being a Red Lantern, is like his appearances in Injustice 2, and when he showed up in Emerald Knights, like the anthology Green Lantern movie, and in that, he's just some random criminal who tells Abin Sur, like, I can see the future, your friend Sinestro, he will become a Yellow Lantern. And Abin Sur's like, nah, bruh, that never happened. So maybe Atrocitus was onto something. Taking a closer look, and I gotta be honest, I don't like Atrocitus' design. Like, it's captured very well in this figure, but he's just a very generic look to me. He looks like a grunt in God of War or Gears of War. He doesn't look like a major character. That said, the design's captured very well. Great sculpted detail, especially in the face and the spandex of the suit. So, like, it's a great capturing of a look I don't particularly like, but it's a good thing the figure is so much fun to kind of compensate for that. And also, I just noticed he has like a massive bulge right there. So, good for you, Atrocitus. We got this guy before we got a Sinestro. Jesus Christ.